Good morning and shalom to all of those. I give homage to our Father in heaven, YAHUAH, for he is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I give honors to his son, Yahusha The Messiah, for he is the Messiah, the anointed one, the second Adam. And I give my respects unto the Ruach HaKodesh, known as the Spirit of Wisdom, the seven eyes and seven spirits of Yah, the glory of Yah, and the beauty of holiness. Shalom and good morning. I bring unto y'all a prophetic dream I had. Yesterday I announced it to those who are close to me, and today I come before you to give you what the dreams say. But first, I want you to take a look at this picture. Focus on it. Okay? For the dream was giving me information what is coming. I also received yesterday confirmation from a family member who also had a dream similar to mine. So let us begin. But first, I have to show you this. What I'm about to share with you is for I can't even know how to say the word. For education purposes only. Okay? So let's get that out the way. Because you know what the word of the Most High say? For his people perish because they have a lack of knowledge. Which brings us to this. Are you watching as the Messiah instruct you to? Are you watching? Okay. As with anything, I have to open up with a date because again, that goes in hand with the instructions of the word of the Most High, the living word. Many people don't even know what time they are in. Again, are you watching? Now, the heathen's date in Satan's calendar, known as the Gregorian calendar, the Roman calendar, today is on February the 8th in the year of 2021 AD. And they call this day Monday. That's what the heathens call it. Okay, remember, they get their knowledge and understanding from the fallen angels, from the fallen principalities. Okay, totally different from what the Father instructs us. For his day starts from sundown to sundown. So the phase of the day that we're in now, we are in the daylight phase that the Bible calls morning. That's where we're in. We're in the daylight phase of the day that the Bible calls morning. Now, on the Most High calendar, could this come from him? Because, you know, he is the creator of all and he has his own way of keeping time. So he gave this unto man so man would understand how to keep time, but also his calendar is used to understand his biblical prophecies. We are in his 11th month known as Sabbat, and Sabbat means a rod, my brothers and sisters. You can find this word in the Bible, okay? Sabbat means a rod, okay? Just taking care of one thing, y'all. I almost forgot that I need to do. Okay, got it taken care of. We are in the 4th week of his calendar month. Okay, I have to look at the date and see what day that falls on. So if this is the 8th day, remember his day starts from sundown to sundown. So on the heathen's day, our day begins from the 7th day of February to the 8th day of February from sundown to sundown. Therefore, it will fall on the 25th day of Sabbat, the 11th month. The 25th day of Sabbat, the 11th month. And it would be the sun's 11th month and 21st day. Again, far as the date of the heathen, it will fall on February the 7th to February the 8th from sundown to sundown. We are in the 4th week of his calendar month, and this is the 3rd day in that week. This is how the Most High people would say. Okay, big difference. Far as the year, we are in the 8th day from Adam, which is the 13th day from creation, and we are in the 8th week of Enoch's 10-week prophecy. Again, the Messiah told you to watch. For those who are watching, you will know what season we're in, and you will be aware that we don't have much time. Things are winding down. Okay? So let me change screens and go back to the picture. Now for the dream. Take you back to that picture. All right. So in the dream, it showed me I'm in my hometown, and there will be a military checkpoint. That is what the dream told me. Okay. I cannot give you all the details in the dream, but what I'm sharing with you, that the dream was telling me, we will have military checkpoints in our towns, in our cities. Okay. Nothing to fear. Again, nothing to fear. The Father's just preparing us for what is coming. When I discussed my dream with my family, one of them too told me they had dreams about 3 months ago. They too saw military checkpoints. Okay. Again, nothing to fear. Well, it's nothing to fear for the children of Yah. We will have understanding of these things and what they mean to be. But I'm here to let you know it is coming. I don't have the exact date and time, but I do know it's coming. Okay? This is part 1. I have another part for you. Again, are you watching and praying? Right? The next picture I want to show you is this. Because remember, all of this stuff is going to go hand in hand. You're going to begin to understand why these things happening now. Let me see. Let me go to this picture. Nope, not that one. That's not it. I want to go to the blow-up picture so you can see. Good morning to those who are just coming on. There you go. This is a picture of a Band-Aid with spice. And yes, it does exist. Okay. We're going to come back to this picture here, but I just want you to see it first so you can see where I'm going with this. Okay, because we have to connect the dots. It's right before our eyes, but many are not watching. Many are off guard, and they're not reading their Bibles. This is scary, y'all, for those who are not watching. Those who are watching, it's not scary to us because we have knowledge and understanding of why these things are to be. Okay? All right, now for the nitty-gritty. I first need to take you to the word before I take you to the video. Because when you get the word, then you're going to understand the video. Okay? So let's open our Bibles. I need for you to go to Daniel chapter 11. Okay? Because we got to set the foundation so you can understand the video. Daniel 11. I'm reading from the King James 16:11. And the chapter summary of Daniel 11 is the overthrow of Persia by the king of Greece, leagues and conflicts, between the kings of the south and of the north, the invasion and tyranny of the Romans. Okay? As I'm reading this, I want you to meditate because many are not aware of what kingdom they're in. Daniel is one of the prophets that tells you you are in the fourth beast kingdom, but he's very specific of what empire or what kingdom we in. Even today, they express that empire in their symbols, in their logos. You can find it among the Christians. You can find it in other organizations, symbols. And those who've been watching and paying attention, you will already know what kingdom you're in. So the question unto you that I need for you to meditate on, what kingdom are we in, y'all? You know, Daniel called it the fourth beast. Well, actually, the Father called it the fourth beast. But what kingdom are we in? Very important to know. Okay? So I'm in Daniel chapter 11. And the part we're going to look at today is we're going to look at the king of the north. The king of the north. But it's not so this much focus on the king of the north. Y'all need to focus on the location where the king of the north going to. Okay? Let's start at verse 41, and we're going to read down. Verse 41 says that he shall enter also into the glorious land, and many countries shall be overthrown. Now, the question in this verse is, you need to ask yourself, what is this glorious land that Daniel is prophesying unto us? What is this glorious land that the king of the north shall go into? Let us continue to read. But these shall escape out of his hand, even Edom, Moab, and the chief of the children of Ammon. He shall stretch forth his hand upon also the countries, and the land of Egypt shall not escape. Let me check to make sure y'all see what I'm seeing. Let me make this bigger. There we go. Okay. It goes on to say that, but he shall have power over the treasures of gold and silver, and over all the precious things of Egypt. And the Liberians and the Ethiopians shall be at his steps. But tidings out of the east and out of the north shall trouble him. So these tidings, these news shall come out of the east and out of the north, and it shall trouble the king of the north, y'all. Therefore he shall go forth with great fury to destroy and utterly to make away many. Now here's the verse you want to highlight and pay attention. And he shall plant the tabernacles of his palace between the seas and the glorious holy mountain. Yet he shall come to his end, and none shall help him. You need to know, what is that glorious land? What is the glorious holy mountain? Go back to the beginning, then you will understand these things. Do you know where he will what? Set his house, set his temple, set his dwellings. Again, you got to understand what the word tabernacle means. Okay? Very important. Now that I have set this foundation to you, other books you need to read to understand Daniel's 11 is the book of Revelation. In the Apocrypha, you need to read Ezra's writing. He is the high priest of Israel known as Ezra. Okay? He was given the part of the revelation of the apocalypse of the end times to come that we're in now, that was not given unto the prophet Daniel. Okay? Let me show you the side notes and references in Daniel's 11 so you can hear them. Know the Bible is written like this Bible here. And the older the copy you have of this Bible, the better, because you're going to learn that the heathen's been removing stuff. This is why today's copy of the King James Bible do not have this. Okay? This Bible is available unto you on the website for free. You can go to KingsJamesBibleOnline.org, Daniel hyphen chapter 11 underscore original hyphen 1611 hyphen King James Version slash. However, the older the copy, do you hear me? The better. And you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. Now let's go to the video. Let me change my screens. My screen, excuse me, y'all. Now I will be coming back to update the video description box so you can have this, okay? So you too can go back and watch these videos yourself, and you will have access to the link as well. Okay, this just came out today. It came out February 8th, 2021. This comes from I-24 News English. Remember, this is for educational purpose only. In other words, like the Bible has told you, we need to be knowledgeable of these things. It's time to come out of the darkness. It is time to stop being ignorant of these things. Okay? Title of the video is The World Most Vaccinated Country. Okay? Remember the foundation that I have read unto you. All right? Very important. I don't want to make that big. Here we go. I'm trying to set this right.
There are many countries trying to win the vaccine race, but there is one country that is ahead of them all. Welcome to Israel. My name is India, and today we are going to see how this country is leading the world vaccine race. Israel has a population of nearly 9 million people, and at this moment, over 3 million of them have received the first dose of the vaccine. They are whipping out 150,000 doses a day. Wow! Which is how Israel has the highest vaccination per capita in the world. But why is that? Well, Israel is using its army to get the country vaccinated. Here, they are prepared for war and emergency at all times. Also, Israel's universal healthcare system is highly digitized. In just 1, 2, 3 steps, I can book my appointment to get vaccinated. And with 4 major healthcare providers in Israel, they are using the divide and conquer technique to get everyone vaccinated. And all this means that Israel could be the world's first entirely vaccinated country. Israel was quick to close its borders, close its schools, and close itself entirely when the pandemic hit. Because of this, the economy suffered a lot. So it is not a surprise that Israel wants to be quick to vaccinate too. They're calling it Operation Back to Life. Now, vaccination centers have popped up all over the nation. Some clinics even have massive lines, like this.
Hi, I'm Danny Engel, and I'm the CEO of our Shalum Medical Center.
Here, they have plants, music, lights, and a medical clown to lighten the mood.
We are intending to work until the end of March and to vaccinate all citizens of Israel 16 years and above.
Now that is fast. Some say too fast. The World Health Organization listed vaccine hesitancy as one of our top 10 global health threats. Well, humans are driven by incentive, and that is why Israel may introduce the Green Passport. Those who receive the second dose of the vaccine will be given this document. It will allow the person to go to restaurants, shopping malls, and basically anywhere, almost unrestricted. With Israel's aggressive approach to end the pandemic, it looks like they will win the vaccination race. And Israel could set an example to help other countries win as well. This could be the end of the pandemic. This is Inside Israel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
All right. Like I said, forgive me. I tried to put the sound with the video, but it is what it is. But at least you got the message. Some keywords in that video you need to pay attention. Divide and conquer technique. Divide and conquer technique. Then they mention another keyword, WHO. WHO, right? World Health Organization. You need to look up the symbol of WHO. It's on the channel for those who are not aware of it. Okay. Then they go on to say the green passport. And notice what is attached to this green passport. It said you should have unrestrictions to, in other words, you're going to be unrestricted. You have access to things and still be able to travel. Now you see about, I say about we got to connect the dots. Now you see where my dream is coming in. Okay. Let me show y'all their video description so you have that. Okay. And I do need to hit my thumbs up because I do like this. I like to know what's going on. So they said they're going to administer the green passport. And you notice this. They are setting the example for the world to follow. Do y'all hear what this video has told you? They are setting the example for the world to follow. Now you begin to understand why what I read unto you, Daniel 11. And why I'm saying unto you to read the book of Revelation and to read the Apocrypha with Ezra writings. Especially chapter 15 and chapter 16, but you still need to read the whole book to understand what this video has to do with those prophetic writings. Okay? All right. Which takes me to this. I need to go to my channel because we ought to have 2 people to prophesy unto us. And they was giving you hints too. Again, are you watching? Here we go. His name is Edward Umling. Edward Umling. Again, I'm going to come back to the video description box and add his video to this link. But he gives you insight about the mark, hyphen his name, or the number of his name. Okay. And then we have Deborah's Yah. Her video is titled Trump and Biden Overall Plan. Again, the children Yah have understanding of these things. In other words, those who are submitted to his spirit. Because we do have believers who are not there yet. Their understanding is not there. That's why it's written in Revelation 12 that those who keep the testimony of Yah, okay, those that keep the testimony of Yah will face the serpent. And you have to ask yourself why. If they're keeping the testimony, of Yahusha HaMashiach, forgive me, y'all. If they're keeping the testimony of Yahusha HaMashiach, why do they have to face the serpent? Why do they have to face the beast? Again, the Messiah gave us understanding of these things. Remember the parable of the 10 virgins, and remember the parable of the king's feast. Again, go back to the gospel. Okay. Now, the next place I need to take you to is this one. This has come out now. And I thank my sisters for sharing this with me. All right. Because I'll show you a picture of the Band-Aid, right? With the little spikes. So I did a little Google search. And what I typed in, I put in band space and aid. I put a space between those two words. And then behind those two words, I worked the word vaccine. And this is what you're going to get. You're going to see what is their next step. What are they working on? Again, are you watching? Okay. But the article we're going to go to is very interesting. And guess where this article comes from? We're going to go to the jpost.com. But before I go there, the Father said, let me take my time to go through this. In this article, I'm just going to read a little summary they have here. It says, Band-Aid with micro needles, like traditional vaccines, our vaccine uses a small piece of the virus as an antigen or target to stimulate. Are y'all connecting the dots? Do you see the next step that is coming? Okay. Something to really look at. Let me click on the images because I want you to see what are they working on with this type of Band-Aid. Like this picture was saying here, getting a flu shot could be as easy as sticking on a Band-Aid. Okay. Let me see what this say. Have allergies? Worry about COVID-19 vaccine with a question mark. Okay. Because if you're watching, you need to be waiting for the final confirmation. The final confirmation. Okay. Again, that's why I'm telling you, you need to read the book of Revelations. Because those two prophets, Edward and Deborah, gave you a hint of what you should be looking for. To see, is this the thing that's lined up with biblical scriptures? Okay. Let us go back to the article. So yes, you see, according to man's invention, they're working on this thing to administer unto you a vaccine. That's the next step. Now let's go to this site because it's very interesting. Because they're setting the example unto the world, right? This comes from the Jerusalem Post, and it's titled Corona Vaccine Candidate Can Be Applied Like Band-Aid. Okay. And it goes on to say, chemically, the vaccine works the same way as flu shots. The vaccine includes lab-made pieces of the viruses in order to build the body immunity. This article is written by Aaron Reach. I hope I pronounced that name correctly. Its title is June the 16th in the year of 2020 AD. So this has been out for a while, y'all. Okay. This is the next step, which makes sense because they already throughout the world is complaining of a shortage of the vaccine. They're complaining of a shortage of the vaccine. So what would be the next step they would do to compensate for the shortage of this vaccine? They're already telling you. All right. The article go on to say, A new coronavirus vaccine candidate from the University of Pittsburgh that can be applied to the skin like a band-aid is now ready for human trials. Did y'all hear that? It's ready for human trials. NBC affiliate Click to Houston reported. Called Pitt, excuse me, y'all, called Pitt Covat. I was wondering why they would use the word pit. Remind me of what the Messiah told us. Will you not rescue your ox out of the pit? Like I said, play on words, right? Called Pit Covat, which comes from these following words: Pittsburgh coronavirus vaccine. The vaccine will be given to patients via a small patch around the size of a postage stamp, which is put on the same way one puts on the Band-Aid. However, this patch comes with tiny needles that dissolve into the skin. Okay, I'm not going to read this whole article, but I will put the link in the video description box. Okay, I'm just going to skim through it right quick to see if I need to. I will read this paragraph here so you can understand how this Band-Aid will administer into you the vaccine. It says that by introducing an antibody response in this protein, you block the entry of the virus into the cell. Explains Andrea Gamboto, MD, Associate Professor of Surgery at the University of Pittsburgh, according to the station. It goes on to say the vaccine had already passed tests on mice, and the researchers have already begun discussion with the U.S. Food and Drug Administration regarding approval to begin human trials. Okay. All right. Again, this comes from the Jerusalem Post, giving us this news. Okay. So you have my dream. There will be military checkpoints. You have the video that come from Israel. They are setting the example unto the whole world. They are telling you what's going to be spread upon the whole world. Are you watching? You also have two prophets who came to you, telling you about the mark of the beast, giving you insight how the beast is going to do it. Again, are you watching? That's Edward and Deborah. And now you have this article from the Jerusalem Post telling you what is the next way that this vaccine can be administered for the COVID-19. Again, this is information that the Father wants you to know. Nothing to fear, my brothers and sisters. Nothing to fear. But He's given us this information so what? We can get our house in order. So we can be ready for what is yet to come. But these things must come to pass for the end to come. Nothing to fear but to embrace, because we know our redemption is nigh. This is why the Messiah said, look up in the heavens. Your redemption is nigh. So this is a time unto us to rejoice, because it's letting us know we do not have long, but trust in Yahuwah, the Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Trust in Him. Receive His Son, who is His salvation, and He shall what? Lead you and guide you in the beast kingdom. Nothing to fear, but to embrace. because we know the end will be here and the new beginning will come. All right, my brothers and sisters, I said enough. Continue to preach that the kingdom of heaven is at hand, for it's truly at hand. Make sure that people receive salvation, for the Lamb set the example of the water baptism and the Holy Spirit baptism. And you too can receive both. All you need to do is exercise your faith, have your heart aligned with the Father, the Son, the Ruach, and have works. To receive the water baptism, if you have no one to baptize you, you can do this yourself, for the water is the second witness in the earth. And our Father in heaven has poured his Spirit upon all his creation. Therefore, the water can go back and report unto him of those who had entered into the marriage that his Son has set for us, the covenant. As for the Holy Spirit baptism, all you have to do is ask in the name of Yahusha HaMashiach, the Messiah. And our Father in heaven will give it unto you. Again, it's according to your heart, faith, and work, but also according to his appointed time. Again, my brothers, nothing to fear, but to be prepared. Get your house in order, for his kingdom is coming. Shalom.